I'm Diane Berke, and I am the founder and spiritual director of One Spirit Learning Alliance and One Spirit Interfaith Seminary in New York City. When I think of the question, what is interspirituality, there are two teachings that immediately come to mind and have been very influential for me. One is from the Sufi master Hazrat Inayat Khan, who said that if we look at the level of the intellect, if we look at the level of beliefs, we will always find what divides us and makes us different from each other. But that if we look at the level of the heart, at the level of experience, and at the level of love, we will always find what joins us together and makes us the same. There's also a teaching from a modern spiritual path called A Course in Miracles that says that a universal theology is impossible, but that a universal experience is not only possible but necessary. And I think that the recognition of the emergence of interspirituality is growing out of more and more human beings sensing that necessity of a universal experience, of our interconnectedness and our absolute need for one another and need for the whole of life to recognize the ways that we're joined together. What I have found in my work with people over the last, especially I would say 10 or 15 years, is that people's approach to spirituality has become far less concerned with what do I believe than with how can I live in a way that I actualize and express the fullness of my potential as a human being. One of the things that I think is very interesting when you begin to look at mature practitioners within every wisdom tradition is that you can sense a sameness regardless of how different their specific religious expressions might be, regardless of how different the paths they took to develop that maturity. There's something that we recognize among mature practitioners of every spiritual teaching that seems to point to the highest possibilities for us as human beings. And I believe that what every wisdom teaching has as its core aspiration is not simply, for instance, how can I be the best Christian, or how can I be the best Jew, or how can I be the best Hindu, or how can I be the best Muslim, but how can I be the best human being? How can I be the best member, participant of the entire family of life and the entire family of creation? So I think that part of what interspirituality points to is the interest that more and more people have in what are the practices that have come down as part of our shared human heritage that can help us move to that fullness of our potential and what I would think of in terms of real spiritual maturity. So I believe that interspirituality includes, among other things, the sharing of the transformative practices that are part of every tradition, but that don't have to stay bound to the cultural trappings that so much of religion itself is grounded in, but really can be part of our universal heritage of wisdom that can help us individually and collectively grow into responsible citizens of the universe.